Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Now, I appreciate you signing up, clicking in, listening on whatever medium that you're listening on today. But we want to tell you why we have a program called Take 10. Take 10 was designed just to take 10 minutes out of your day, or if you're going to binge, just go through a whole bunch at one time. But Take 10 was designed for me to be able to interview pastors, leaders, business people, CPAs, attorneys, mentors, my mentors, people that I've met that I think would serve you well. But in all, it's to fuel your faith. You know, without fuel, it's impossible to win a race. And faith is the fuel that generates hope. And if I've learned anything in the last almost 50 years of ministry, I've learned that if my faith is not topped up and the fuel tank is not full, my hope will degenerate. Now, I actually was in one of the trucks of Moms Against Hunger the other day, and I heard this noise. And they've actually built an extra apparatus to trucks now that degenerate and burn off excess fuel to save our planet. Well, you don't have to worry about that in the ministry, because there's always something degenerating your hope, always taking away from your faith. And if I can come into your home, office, automobile for just 10 minutes, 5 days a week, or you can binge and catch it when you're in your prayer time or your quiet time, you can listen to all kinds of people that talk about how faith fueled them. And I'll be discussing with you how to stay abreast of all those things in the IRS. We already talk about this throughout the Independent Christian Churches International back offices of Ministry Launch. Because Ministry Launch was founded not just to be a place where you connect to a group, be ordained, find a 501c3 incorporation for your work, or to bring about a start to something that's been in your heart a long time. But Ministry Launch was designed to give you the back office ability to have all your paperwork right at your fingertips up on the cloud, to where you can go in and find a housing allowance form. You can go in and find a form that might be for your automobile, or to figure out how to do this or that. That comes up regularly in 501c3 operations. There's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. Even in the back office of Ministry Launch, we have something so fantastic that we have partnered with other great people, such as Craig Rochelle, and you can go right straight to their page from our pages, and you can find thousands of operating tips and helps and forms and papers to run your entire 501c3 nonprofit, whether you are a church, a ministry, an evangelist, or if you are a ministry of helps, a ministry that is building a business like a thrift store, or a medical transport, or helping thousands of people in thousands of different ways that qualify under the 501c3 organization. You can see how others have balanced, how others have grown, how others have planned, even how they've categorized workloads and work helps. It's all there, and it's all for you. But there is something missing. That faith, that's the fuel that generates the hope. And it's my desire to help you in that. May I encourage you, in this climate that we are in right now, to make the best of your ministry, to do all you can to study, to know, to take advantage of what we give you. It's not just an annual small fee. I mean, some of you are listening to me, and it's about $22 a month that you handle your whole back office, and you do all of these things for you. That's what your financial outlay is for. You couldn't hire attorneys and all that, but by being a large group like we are able to bring to you the results of all of us working together. Take advantage of that. And one of those things is the Bible Institute. The Community Bible Institute has been around for over 40 years, but it's online now. It is not simplistic. I find people who have got their bachelor's degrees and MBAs and went to standard schooling to look at it and say, well, this is just an easy little testing multiple choice thing. It's not that at all. It is to help you regenerate the fuel that is within you and know your Bible. Many people read their Bible through annually, but do you know what you've read? These are not teachings of men, teachings of mine. These are simply questions that have 4 answers. You have to pick one of them, which is right. Recently, a very good friend of mine went through a certain test to test the veracity of it, the authority of it, the power of it. This person who's been around church, went to Bible school, has a diploma, has so many certifications in so many areas, has ministry experience for over 15 years. 3 times they failed the test before they went on to 100%. I'm saying that because you need that constant regeneration to take away from the degeneration of knowledge that's coming at you. And faith is the fuel that generates hope. So use your connection here. This Bible school is free. All you have to do is get a code, check in. If you are a member of independent Christian churches and Ministry Launch, it's free to you. Otherwise, it's $10 a month. But you could build that hope that's within you just by straight up Bible. I know we're into podcasts. I like it. I'm doing one right now for you. I'm into interesting things, and I'm into inspirational preaching. I spent my life as a faith preacher. But let me tell you, nothing takes the place of you going through the Bible step by step in a pattern and taking a quiz at the end of what you've read. So you read a chapter, you take the quiz. Now that is simple, but the veracity of it is powerful because it makes you think. And even though it's an open book test, you still fail because you don't remember what you think you remember. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the Community Bible Institute. And soon to come, after the summer of 2018, there will be additional things that will help you be able to certify your qualifications as a minister. And one of those we will be adding will be the Star Minister's Manual course. It will add right in. You'll be able to turn. And for those of you say, well, I've been in the ministry forever. Do you know, I had a man call me a couple of weeks ago that had been in the ministry and is in the ministry and is active across this world, but had never done a funeral. And I was able to help him with the Star Minister's Manual do a funeral. So we're going to be teaching that in the Bible school. That way, when people come at you and say, well, you just signed up and got a license, it is not true. You joined Independent Christian Churches International, and we fuel you. And we give you the fuel that is necessary for you to win your race. So, a couple of things here. Daily in your email box, you can sign up, and you'll get 10 minutes of a communication just like this. But it'll most likely be something that will fuel you for that very day. Or it will remind you to go to the Bible school and get signed up. It's called Community Bible Institute. It's its own website. It's been around. Thousands of prisoners take advantage of it. Thousands of ministers will one day see the power of what we have been doing for over 40 years. I want to say to you, put it in your time. Take 10. And if you're a preacher, you're probably going to find more to preach that other people are not talking about than you ever thought possible. Our prayers are with you today. Thank you for taking 10.